Hey team, this is a off the cuff video because I just did a post in the community and I realized I haven't actually talked about the momentum method yet, and I haven't talked about the tiers and how they work. So I just wanted to quickly touch on that so it gives a bit more explanation about it all. And this really relates to a post that I put in the Schoolers community about unfinished business in 2026 in 2025. We're heading into 2026, right? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of members here in this community can relate to a lot of the comments, and I read every single one of them. And what I found when I asked that question was pretty much like, why didn't you achieve your goals? And what were the reasons that you didn't achieve your goals over this past year? And what I saw wasn't a lack of effort or care. Most of you didn't stop because you're lazy. You stopped because life happened, right? Too many things pulling at you, too much to think about, doubting whether the goals that you'd set for yourself in January were even the right goals in the first place, getting knocked sideways by something unexpected, or just feeling like the year just slipped by. And here's the thing that I want you to hear clearly. This isn't a motivation problem and it's not a discipline problem. And it's definitely not because you didn't want it bad enough, right? You see, what I see over and over again is people will start strong, but they don't have anything holding them when real life kicks in. So when things wobble, or when your focus scatters, or when self-doubt creeps in, there's no container to keep your momentum moving forward. And that's why I created the Momentum Method training program. So it's not another program that's telling you to push harder or think more positively, but it's a way to build momentum that actually survives real life, because momentum comes and goes. But structure, aligned structure, is what carries you when motivation dips. So I ran this entire program as a beta program back in July, and the biggest surprise for me was the number one thing people raved about wasn't actually the content. The content challenged them for sure. There were some things that definitely got them to think differently to how they've been doing things now. But the number one thing, or the number one feedback that I got from everybody, was about the coaching, about being able to show up as their authentic selves, as they actually were, about being able to ask the questions that they were actually stuck on and get real-time guidance instead of overthinking alone. That's what made the difference. And that's why I'm really confident in the tiers and how I've set them up in this community. So here's what's going to work. Here's how it's going to work, should I say. So the Momentum Method training program, you can buy the standalone program, but like I said, after doing the beta course, what really made the difference was the coaching component. So here's what's really special. We're going to run the program live again, starting on the 1st of July, 1st of January, sorry. Now, every Thursday, what will happen is you'll get one or two focus videos in the classroom. Nothing overwhelming, just what you need to keep moving forward for that particular week. Then every Tuesday, we're going to meet live on Zoom. Now, our first call starts January the 6th, so you've got time between now and then over Christmas to take that time off, enjoy your family, rest, recharge, or regroup. Right, now the thing about these live calls is they're not scripted calls. What I do is I energetically tune in and channel what the group needs most on that week. And a lot of it is based on who actually shows up and what questions I get beforehand. Now, in those calls, we're going to do hot seats. We're going to clear what's blocking your momentum forward for that week. And sometimes we'll even go a little bit deeper into that week's content if that's what's needed. It's whatever is needed for the majority of people that are on those calls or in the community. Now, if you can't make it live, that's okay. You can send your questions in beforehand, and obviously you'll always get access to the replays afterwards. You're still going to be supported. Now, this part matters. The only way you can get access to that is if you upgrade from the standard to the premium or VIP tier. Now, here's what most people probably don't realize. Here's what I'm doing for this, is when you upgrade to premium or VIP, you're going to get obviously that first month of weekly coaching all throughout January. Okay, so I'm going to make sure if you upgrade now, you'll get it to the end of January. But here's what you probably didn't realize. If you decide at the end of January that this isn't for you and it's not quite working, then you can downgrade back to standard and still be a member of the community. We still want you in the community here, right? But here's the bonus or the kicker. you'll still have access to the training program for 12 months. So even if you don't want the coaching, you can have the program for 12 months. You'll still have access to it. So effectively, that first month in January gives you the opportunity to try out the coaching, free live coaching every week for free. And based what I already got, or the feedback that I got from the beta, I genuinely don't think most people are going to want to cancel or downgrade once you experience what we do in those live coaching sessions. So let me quickly recap. This training is for people who are tired of repeating the same year, just wearing different clothes. For people who start January clear and committed, then get busy, get distracted, overwhelmed, unsure, and end the year saying, well, I made progress, but not like I wanted to. So if you recognize yourself in that post in Schoolers, if you saw it, if 2025 slipped past faster than you expected, or if too many things pulled at your focus and your goals quietly faded in the background, then nothing changes in 2026 unless you change a different, or you choose to operate from a different structure. More motivation isn't going to do it. Another strategy isn't going to do it. And doing it alone definitely won't do it. Momentum only builds when something is holding you consistently, when there's a place to recalibrate, to refocus, and keep moving, even when life gets messy or challenging. And so that's what you're going to get when you upgrade to the premium or VIP tier in this community. You're going to get real-time support, coaching, and momentum that you don't have to manufacture. So this is the moment where you get to decide. You can let 2026 be another year of good intentions, or you can put yourself inside a container that makes follow through inevitable. So if you want 2026 to actually be different, I'm going to invite you or encourage you to upgrade to premium or VIP now, not later, not when things calm down, now, because momentum doesn't come from wanting more, it comes from choosing to do something different. If you don't change the structure, you don't change the outcome.